Remember, in the spirit of personal governance, you're not competing with nobody else but yourself. You're trying to be a better you today than you was last month, than you was last week, than you was yesterday. Everything's a cinch. You do it inch by inch. So, for those of you who don't know, my long-term goal is not only to get down to a 34-inch in a waist, but it's also to be able to run a 50K. Now, I'm not doing that. That's spread out over a period of time. That's spread over a few years. My first goal is to get up to 10 miles, to a 10K, then 10 miles. And my goal is to complete a 50K. Now, I said complete. So that means if I have to walk and jog, if I have to roll, that's my goal. And once I get better conditioned, I say, you know what? I'm going to run that 50K. Right now, I say I'm going to complete a 50K. That's the long term. But the short term is to actually run a 6K. I've already completed a 6K. Well, no, I take that back. I already completed a 10K, which is 6.2 miles. But my next goal, my next long-term goal is 10 miles. So, working my way up to that. So what I do with my jogging is I do this rhythm run. I'm going to do just a little bit so you can kind of see what I do. As I start, I don't run real, I'm pretty much jogging. And I do like a 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7, 1, 2, 3, 8, 1, 2, 3, 9, 1, 2, 3, 10. Okay. Now I typically go longer than that, but I ain't want to bore you to death. And I usually count in my head these like ABC 1, ABC 2. And I'm counting, and how I condition myself is I do those 10s when I'm like really low energy. But what I find is once I get out here, eventually I'll get like that second wind, or what they call runner's high. And then I'll bump it up from 10 to 20. From 20, maybe to 50. But once I string, remember I said you get those little wins? So say you out of shape. You can only do 3, do 3. And then next time you do it, do a couple times a week, you get up to 5. You do 5, 1, 2, 5, you got a win, okay? You do that 5, then you expand it to 7, to 10. You do whatever you can do. And if you do it, you just keep improving upon it, And then before you know it, and you do any kind of pattern like me, that just distracts me. Counting, I'm focusing on counting. So I know I can do 10. I know I'm in well enough condition to do 10. I'm really, even at this point, even at my weight, it just depends on the day. But I definitely can do 60, 70 paces, stop, walk a little bit. Then it's walk, jog, walk, run. Then sometimes I actually run, I actually sprint. But I'm so heavy now that I save the sprinting for like every 2 or 3 weeks to kind of shock my body. So right when my body is getting used to it, I shock it, I hit it. Intense, quick sprints. So, but this is about resolve development. That's one of the results of personal governance. By being accountable, by investing in yourself, and by wanting to see that growth, whether it's physical growth, financial, whatever it is, you're going to develop not only discipline, but as you develop discipline, you're going to develop resolve. You're going to become more resilient. You're going to start seeing. Then you have different people cheering you on, Because they see like, man, big boy out here getting it. You know, they 160, 150 pounds, you know. So you motivate them. So believe it or not, it may not seem like nobody's watching. Somebody's always watching. You always got an audience, whether you know it or not. You always got a critic, whether you know it or not. But be your own critic, be your own guru, be your best motivator, be your number one cheerleader, be your number one supporter. You know, get out here and go for it. People laugh, snicker, so what? So what? That's what people do anyway. You know what I'm saying? Don't let that chop into your self-confidence. Start getting these small wins, stringing them together. Say, oh man, I went out, I did some walking. I walked 3 minutes today. I walked 5 minutes. Now, don't walk 3 minutes if you know you're capable of jogging or running 45 minutes. You know, don't be lazy on it. But if you in a situation like myself where you're heavy, you're overweight, you're working on slimming it down, if you can't jog, run. I mean, if you can't jog, walk. You know? And if you can't walk, roll. Lay on the ground and roll. Do whatever you can. I've seen a documentary, and forgive me, I'm after, like I said, I'm just out of the spirit of the moment, so I didn't write his name down, but this guy, he was an athlete, he got injured, and he was confined to a wheelchair. And the long story short, he was determined to walk again, but that didn't happen for him. So he was depressed or whatever, but he decided to be a bodybuilder, the only bodybuilder in a wheelchair. And he started working out what he could. And that's the key thing to personal governance right there. Do absolutely everything you can. Everything you can. Don't let nothing stop you. And guess what? The more you do, the more you're going to be capable of doing. The more your confidence is going to be boosted. The more your courage is going to be boosted. All right. That's my time. Have a great day. Thank you for joining me on my journey. And I hope today you start yours. And you already know what to do. Persist, believe, and achieve. Talk to you later.